Okay, today is Monday, tax day, the 15th of April, 2024. We've got this cabinet sanded down to raw wood, and we've touched up the inner surface of the speaker opening. We had to fill in here with popsicle stick to thicken this up, otherwise it would have been flimsier than hell. And we got the bezel sides, front, main portion, and the opening for the push button assembly all doctored up, and she's raring to go. And just got to get this here stained up. And we're doing something on the back here, putting a thin coat of Gorilla Glue around the perimeter of the opening there, so that it doesn't get all yuckified and everything, because we're gonna spray the interior of the cabinet, get it finished. Probably gonna do it in a dark walnut. And then I got to get the stickers ready to go on it whenever it gets done. So we're going to spray the interior of the cabinet, get it finished, as well as the back end here. We got the antenna cleaned and restructured, or reshaped I should say, so that it will look more presentable in that opening. And then we're going to get the staining this thing here, so we can get a sand sealer on it, and get a couple of few coats of aqua coat on it, schmooze it out. So hang in there, and we'll be back for more. Okay, here's the antenna. We've got it all reshaped back to where it should be from the factory, that is. And we had to make new spacers in here, because the old ones were all warped out. I mean, some of these wires were touching each other, and this here is the best of the ones here. We replaced all the ones on the corners and left all the ones on the insides. So let me shut that thing up. I'm watching what's going on with the Middle East, so we got these things ready to go for when the cabinet gets done. This has already been sealed, coated, and cleaned up. I just got to touch up the ends here where the solder is going, and that will be ready to go. So there's that. This is the bezel for the dial. Okay, we are moving on with getting this. Let me get some light on this thing. We're getting the wiring all back in. We got the speaker mounted up, and the dial plate on it. Got the speaker connected. We got this connected around to there. We're going to do the power wiring to the switch, and then we're going to get that mounted up here, and get these push button wires soldered back on, and then we're going to put the trimmer rail back on it. I'm going to dress up them wires so that they look more presentable. because this one here has an open back on it. There is no back cover on it. So I like going the extra steps to making things look more presentable. I mean, yeah, that was the way they did it back then, and it's really nice to think. But I mean, if you want to showcase the radio once it's done, I mean, you can do it. If you got an ugly looking backside, so to speak, nobody wants to be looking at it. So, man, let me tell you about my backside. No. Thank goodness my urologist didn't fold up shop and go home when he had me on the table. So, anyway, that's what we're going to do today. We're going to work on getting the power wiring into the chassis and get it connected back up, get that thing mounted up, and closing this stuff up. And then we'll be pretty close to making a test on it. My wires, my stranded wires that are coming, that I ordered to replace some of this wiring here, won't be here until tomorrow, if it gets here at all, because it's coming via USPS, and you know what you get when you deal with them. So that's what we're going to do today. Cabinet, push button, switching, and the trimmer railing. So stand by, we've got more coming. Okay, another day. It is Tuesday, the 16th of April, 2024. We managed getting this chassis all back in shape again. Everything is back on it, tubes are on it, everything else is on it. Managed getting the decal and the stickers done. I'm waiting for the for my decal for this here to cure up. I got it sprayed down right now with some clear poly. We've got that ready to go. One thing I wanted to touch base with on you, with everyone, is, let me set this down so I can turn this around, get it there. I wound up powering it up after I got everything back on it. This was yesterday evening, and I had low volume on the thing. One station would come in, only one station on shortwave. If you can believe that, only one station in short, well, maybe two. There was WWV, I had it for an instant there, and then a Spanish station. It might have been Cuba, but and it would drift in and out, and I couldn't get anything on the push buttons, couldn't get anything on the broadcast band, on the AM band. So I had already checked the tubes, and some were a little above mediocre, and the rest were pretty good on the high side. But there was one or two there that were kind of probably iffy. I've never came across any of them particular type of tubes that were very strong to begin with, but they worked. But after doing a dance and swapping tubes, I finally managed finding another 35 Z5 rectifier tube, Z3 rectifier tube, and stuck it in there, and everything started to come alive a little better. The voltages were coming up to what was more viable, I would say. It was showing. It was showing 108, I think it was, right there, and I was getting like 70, somewhere around in there. It would take like 5 minutes for the radio to come alive to where it would hiss at me, but it would only pick up 1, maybe 2 stations, and that would be about it. So I swapped out the 14 AF7 for another one, and a 7 C7 that I had. I didn't have a B7, so I had a C7, and it was starting to get a little bit better response out of it. So still wasn't getting anything on push button, and still wasn't getting anything on the AM. So what I elected to do was fire up the SIGGEN and get the thing checked out to see if it was receiving anything on the AM band at all. And sure enough, it was. Trouble is, it wasn't picking up any stations whatsoever, but I could pick up a signal scanning through the band. So what I did was I decided to go ahead and do a preliminary alignment on it to see whether or not it would improve the reception. Well, good thing I did. I think somebody back when, probably the last one that worked on it, tried to adjust it with all the IF cans, and they were, I mean, tell you, they were way out. I mean, they were screwed in, and they were way off. I mean, something like 5-6 turns on a couple of them, and 4 turns on another one. I couldn't believe it. I mean, the tone was getting so loud, I had to turn it down every half a turn because it was just improving it so much. So once I got the IFs done, I went into doing the RF stuff, and she's greatly improved. I mean, she's working like a champ now. So I got the mounting up, I got the dial string back on, I got the pointer hooked in, adjusted. Like I said, we got an alignment done on it. Speaker works great. It's receiving real good on shortwave. I do have my little Philco antenna, external antenna adapter, the triple prong socket thing set up, and it does function properly. So I might have to make me some more of those, of whatever I've got. I know I've got about 3 more cases that I can use, and I got plenty of components that I can use it, and I got plenty of circuit boards I can etch for that. Let's see, what else did we do with this? Got the stickers on it. Oh yeah, got the buttons polished and protected. The knobs also. I managed to dig through and find decals for the cabinet that will go with this cabinet. I managed to make the stickers for the cabinet to get them done. The cabinet is being cured up right now. Did I do the cabinet? No, you haven't seen the cabinet since I stained it. So let's go outside and take a look at the thingy. I got it out in the sunlight to get to kind of bake and get dry, because I want to get a couple of coats of seal coat on it. Here is my decals for that. I decided to make 3 of them just in case something went screwy. The cabinet is getting there. It's got a combination of dark walnut and honey on it. I went with a foam brush and kind of doubled it here and there a little bit, all the way around and on the top with the dark walnut, and let it dry up to a certain extent, and then went on it with a wash of honey stain. And we got some lowlights and highlights in it. So we're gonna let this cure up for the rest of the afternoon, and then we'll see if we can't get at least a coat on it tonight, maybe 2 coats on it, and then that way tomorrow we can put it out in the sun, let it heat up and get good and cured up, so that we can hit it with some with a few layers of aqua coat. So I went through and I checked all the voltages on all the tubes. They're all right up to snuff, and even took the temp readings on them for reference. I always like taking temp readings of the tubes, so that way I can see whether or not they're driving a little too hard. If the voltages aren't, don't tell me that. So I'm guessing that's going to be just probably about it. I think I already did the antenna for you. Yeah, and so it's just kick back and take it easy now for the rest of the day and part of tomorrow. And then we're going to be in the mood for pulling something else off the shelf. That airline I managed getting unboxed, and it is kind of in rough shape. The cabinet's pretty solid, but it's missing all of its caps here, and it's missing the volume knob. I can make these knobs. I have molds for that, and I ordered some dowel. It's a plastic dowel, 1/2 inch, so I can fashion end caps for this here. The dial's kind of iffy. I noticed from the back side. I did one of these here, I don't know, a couple of years ago, thereabouts. Somebody said it reminds them of a robot. Because of the 2 big eyes and a big mouth right there. Also got a silver tone, I believe this is. Let's see what that is. It might be an airline. I thought it was a silver tone. This is a silver tone. This is at 7039. I got off eBay for $9. And the reason I got it for $9 is the guy didn't. This has got one of those tricky tuning mechanisms on it. It's got a rubberized thing that's, well, I did one other one like this, a 7039, that had issues with it, and the guy didn't want to dink with it. He got it for some reason or another, and since that issue was there, and it didn't have a back, and since it didn't have a back, it didn't have an antenna. And I told him, well, it's a doorstop now, you know, it's a boat anchor. I don't have an antenna and this and that, and he says, well, make me an offer. I said $9. He took it. I'm a darn. So anyway, I got it for $9. I just have to make an antenna for it and a back cover. And I think I got the data for the antenna and the back cover. I just need to experiment with it to see if I can manage reproducing it. So, and that's basically all I have left on the shelf, is that right over there. So we'll be moving on to one of those radios pretty quick. So it might be that silver tone. It's been sitting there for a while. I kind of itching to get started on that back and that antenna and experiment with it. So anyway, enough blabbing. Thanks for hanging in there, watching, and thanks for your comments. It really helps me out there. I'm kind of thinking once in a while. I've got almost 750 subscribers now, and thanks to some of you out there that drop my name here and there on other channels, it brings them in. But you know what? My views are they're not there, not for 750 subscribers. I'm barely getting 200 views. So I'm thinking a lot of them are probably bots. But we'll see whether or not it comes around. So anyway, happy after tax day. Hope you all did okay. We'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.